Welcome to Taxpayer Victory, video basic entitled Tax Crisis. That's tax crisis. That's a phrase that I coined more than 15 years ago already. And I did that to help my clients understand at a deeper emotional level the type of tax challenge that was confronting them. It was important then, and it remains important now, that you realize that this is more than a tax problem. And it's more than a tax problem because you have a deep emotional, psychological, and possibly even a physical negative reaction to the tax challenges that you're experiencing. If it was just simply a tax problem, for instance, if you owed a delinquent amount of money that you could affordably pay, you'd do that. You certainly wouldn't be in tax crisis. But as soon as that tax problem overwhelms you financially, emotionally, psychologically, and physically, you have entered the realm of engaging in tax crisis. And it's something that you have to attend to. So, I want to discuss each of those elements because they're important. You may have an IRS debt, or alternatively, you may have unfiled returns. And if it's something that has exceeded your financial capacity, meaning that you can't affordably pay it, or if you think that what it is that's being demanded of you is wrong and you're not being treated fairly, or if you can pay it, but by virtue of paying it, you're not going to be able to pay your other necessary living expenses, you're in tax crisis merely on the level of the financial component to that definition. Now, if you also have an emotional reaction where you get anxiety ridden, or you break into sweats, or any kind of other emotionally related reactions that you can't really control. In other words, they're just triggered. You're also in tax crisis. Those triggers are common. Many people experience that just by virtue of getting a letter from the IRS, and as soon as they look down and they see that the IRS is the return address, they can't function from that point forward. And they haven't even opened the envelope yet. I can only tell you that in my 33 years of successfully representing taxpayers and resolving taxpayers and tax crisis challenges, that there's been hundreds of folks that have come to me with baskets of envelopes from the IRS that had never even been opened. So don't feel alone. You're one of millions of people that feel the same way. You feel subjugated. You feel like you're underneath somebody's heel. And the heel that you feel like you're underneath is the IRS's. Now, I'm going to tell you in the long run that you can resolve this and you can do it on your own. That's what Taxpayer Victory is all about, is do it yourself. But most importantly, you have to first understand what you're feeling and that it is not inappropriate to feel that way. And once you do that, then you can take the steps, the first small step and the second small step, to resolve in a do-it-yourself fashion your tax crisis. Okay? Now, some people even have physical reactions to their tax crisis. That's right, people become ill. Moreover, many people can't sleep. I can't even tell you how many people have told me that they've not been able to sleep. And I don't mean just for a couple of nights. I mean that they haven't been able to sleep for years because of their tax crisis. And it's overwhelmed them to that extent. And they become ill. People have heart attacks. People get ill because of their tax crisis. And now you have to understand that if you feel that way, or if you know somebody that's in that predicament, that one, you can rationally tie it to that tax delinquency, whether it's a failure to pay or a failure to file. More importantly, you now know that you can work your way through it. and you can get your life back. There is an end to a tax crisis. There's just no doubt about it. So, if you know somebody that has evidenced any of those four elements, any of them, and you see that it has, in a sense, prevented them from living their life in the way that they want to, or if that person is you, take steps through Taxpayer Victory to do it yourself and work your way through to a resolution. You do it for yourself, and you also do it for your family. And that's the final component that I need to discuss with you. Because if you are truly in tax crisis and you have that in your life, don't kid yourself. You can't shield the people around you from the adverse and negative effects that you're experiencing. You may think you are doing that. You may think that you're able to shield them. You may think that they don't know. But it's not true. They know it. They sense it. Whether you're overtly reactionary and negative or whether you're depressed. And that's one other common psychological component to tax crisis is depression. Mood swings. Sometimes serious mood swings. Sometimes aggression. All of those standard human reactions are common in a tax crisis environment, and they do adversely, negatively impact on your relationships, whether it's family or friends, neighbors, your business. So, now it's time. Pass this video along. If you know somebody that has this experience, help them understand what they're going through, and please help them understand that I also understand what they're going through, and most importantly, that you can do it yourself and you can work your way to a resolution that successfully resolves your tax crisis, puts things in perspective, and you can get your life back. I am tax controversy attorney Richard Craig Krause, and please accept my 33 years of successful experience representing taxpayers in tax crisis. Get our video power packs on topics that are common to tens of millions of taxpayers just like you, and work your way through to a point where you can look and feel good about your future too. Thank you. Okay, how long was